They told us Toronto real estate would just keep climbing after the pandemic. But right now, prices have rolled back to 2021 post-pandemic levels, erasing years of gains and forcing buyers and sellers to completely rethink their next move. And wait until you see the drops that I found. Some are tens of thousands off their peak, and it's flipping the market mood upside down. One of the properties I'll show you today is selling for less than it did after the Bank of Canada started hiking rates. And another has dropped so far its 2021 mortgage balance is basically the entire purchase price today. I've pulled 3 real examples from downtown Toronto, each at different price points to show you just how far the market has shifted, and the numbers might shock you. I want to start by showing you the biggest price drop at 300 Front Street West, right in the heart of the entertainment district, 1 bedroom, no parking, 658 square feet, listed today at $599,000. Back in 2021, similar units were selling for around $720,000. At the 2022 peak before the big drop, same layout, sold for about $740,000. So that's a $141,000 price drop from 2021, and even more compared to the peak. Back in 2021 at $720, your monthly mortgage payment might have been around $2,127. Today at $599 with today's higher rates, that's only $155 more per month, despite the fact that the selling price is $141,000 lower. That's a serious rollback. This building is steps from the Rogers Centre, CN Tower, and the financial district. You've got TTC access within minutes, and it's a high tourist area. Here's a question for you. Would you take on a slightly higher monthly payment today for a price that's $141,000 lower? Drop a comment below. I read every one of them. Now let's take it down to one of the most affordable downtown entries you can find right now. That's at 150 East Liberty Street in Liberty Village, but this one's not even a 1 bedroom. No parking, no separate bedroom, just a studio unit about 395 square feet, officially in micro condo territory. It's listed today at $368,000, which is about $932 per square foot. In 2021, similar units were selling for around $450,000. At the 2022 peak before the drop, same layout sold for about $475,000. That's nearly $1,200 a square foot. So not only has the price dropped by $82,000 from 2021, but the cost per square foot has also fallen by more than $200. Back in 2021 at $450 with 20% down, your mortgage would have been about $1,329 a month on a balance of $360,000. Today at $368 with a 20% down payment, your mortgage is about $1,400 a month. And that 2021 mortgage balance of $360,000 is basically the entire purchase price today. So from a cheapest entry point in Liberty Village, this now stands as one of the cheapest tickets into all of downtown Toronto. Liberty Village is like a younger, high-energy neighborhood. Gyms, grocery stores, pubs, and coffee shops, all within a few blocks. In 2021, studio units here were often snapped up by first-time buyers or investors looking for rental cash flow. Now today, studios are sitting longer. Investors are more cautious because rent increases aren't always keeping pace with higher borrowing costs. Now here's something worth thinking about. Is a micro condo like this a smart long-term investment, or are you better off saving for more space? Let me know in the comments. I want to know how you see it. Finally, let's head to the east in the waterfront area. 15 Lower Jarvis Street, part of the Daniels waterfront community, right by Sugar Beach. 1 bed plus den, 1 bath, parking included, about 603 square feet, listed today at $639,000. Back in 2021, similar units were selling for around $800,000. In 2022, during the peak, I couldn't find an exact match, but by the end of that year, after the Bank of Canada had already started raising the key interest rate, a similar unit still sold for about $680,000. And here's the thing, today's asking price is even lower than what it was going for after rates started climbing. Price per square foot was about $1,061. Back in 2021, at $800,000, closer to $1,327 per square foot. That's a $260 price drop per square foot. With the mortgage, with 20% down in 2021, your monthly payment would have been $2,363 per month. Today, with the higher rates, you're looking at around $2,425 a month. That's only $62 more per month in today's market, but you're locking in at a purchase price that's $160,000 lower. This is a newer building, steps from the lake, with retail right in the complex and Union Station just a short walk away. For end users who want the waterfront lifestyle, this price shift is making it way more attainable than it was even a year year ago. So what's going on? First, let's talk numbers. The GTA average home price today sits around $1,052,000. In early 2021, it was about $1,062,000. And from the all-time peak in March 2022, $1,299,000. We're down almost $250,000. That tells you two things. One, the trend is still downward. And two, even if you bought in early 2021, today's average is slightly lower. Can we drop another $99,000 to match the gap from today back to 2021's $900,000 GTA prices? It's possible, but rates would have to go higher or even just stay elevated while the economy softens. And remember, the Bank of Canada hasn't cut rates since April. And now with Trump's tariff hikes putting more pressure on Canadian exports and manufacturing, our economy could take more hits that keep housing demand suppressed. But we also have reasons prices might not fall that far. We're still dealing with high immigration, a crazy amount of housing shortages in some segments, and a construction slowdown for new projects. For condos in particular, a wave of new listings is hitting the market, and not just resale units. We're seeing a surge in pre-construction closings. Buyers who purchased years ago are now taking possession in a much tougher market. If you listed a condo in 2021, you could underprice it by $10,000 and still end up with a bidding war. Now, if you overprice it even $10,000, you risk sitting on the market for weeks. And in this market, that's kind of dangerous. Buyers are cautious. If your listing sits too long, it gets stale, and you end up chasing the market down with price drops. So if you're selling right now, price competitively from day one. Stage the unit, photos and presentation matter more when competition is high. Be ready to negotiate. This is not 2021. Be realistic. You're not going to get 2022 peak prices anymore, and holding out for them might cost you more in the long run. And buyers, this is where you have leverage. Longer days on market give you more room to negotiate not just price, but also closing dates and inclusions. Don't obsess over timing the absolute bottom. If you find a unit you like in a location you want, and the numbers work for your budget, you can feel good about buying in this market. Just plan to hold for at least 5 to 7 years. Condos are behaving more like stable assets than a lottery ticket like back then. For first-time buyers, that's not necessarily bad. It means you can get in without competing with a dozen other offers. It means you can negotiate. It means you have more time instead of rushing into the first thing you see. But for investors, banking on quick flips, you need to adapt your strategy. Look for cash flow potential, not just appreciation. Focus on units with unique features, balconies, parking, or unique floor plans. Airbnb rules are tighter, rents have gone up, so have condo fees and interest rates. Downtown Toronto one-bedroom rents are now averaging around $2,500 a month. Back in 2021, that number was closer to $2,100. Higher rents help offset higher mortgage payments, but here's the catch. The tenant pool is more price sensitive than ever. If your rent is even $50 to $100 over market, you might be sitting vacant for weeks. And in some micro condos, turnover is higher because tenants see them as stepping stones, not long-term homes. Price growth is slower, and in some cases, negative year over year. This market is not the same one we had 3 years ago. Prices are lower, the pace is slower, the psychology is different. But with that shift comes opportunity. If you're ready to explore your options, or you just want to keep learning about the Toronto market, check out some of my playlists on pre-construction and resale. These videos are meant to give you the tools to make your next move with confidence. If you found this video helpful, subscribe so you don't miss my next one. I post a new video every single week with the best real estate tips to help you reach your real estate goals. If you have any questions about the market or your own buying and selling plans, drop them in the comments or reach out. I'm here to help. Thanks for watching. I'm Fred Tam, and I'll see you in the next one.